Hey, it's your friend Choice CJ here, and I'm coming at you today with the very first video as the coach of the Nevada Noiverns. Nevada Noiverns are a team in the competitive battling league, the Orange League, and there was a previous coach of the Nevada Noiverns, but he had to drop out for whatever reasons, and so the guys over at the Orange League asked me if I wanted to step in and be the coach for this team, and I said absolutely. I would really be excited to join the league and be able to compete with different people around the world in some make-believe monster battles. So this is a draft league, so I'll leave a link in the description that explains the rules. If you are familiar with the GBA, the Global Batting Association, the rules for this league, I believe, are identical, or at least very similar to the Season 5 of the GBA. Basically, every team gets to draft 11 Pokemon. They draft the Pokemon out of different tiers, which are dictated by how viable each Pokemon is. So something like Mew, for example, is Tier 1, whereas something like Dunsparce or something like that is going to be Tier 5. And you get your choice of Mega Pokemon, and there's some other rules. I don't think that I need to explain it all here, but if you are curious about it, please go check out that link. Normally, each coach gets to draft his own team, but since I came in partway through the season, I instead inherited a team that you can see in front of you, and it's really cool. It's got some really great Pokemon on it, with a lot of really great options. That's what I'm really liking about what I'm seeing right here. A lot of the Pokemon here have different moves and very diverse move pools that they can go for. Mew's, of course, the perfect example of that. Being able to learn every TM and move tutor move in the game, and a lot of really great support Pokemon here, a lot of really great bulk on my team. Mega Blastoise is obviously a really bulky Pokemon. Things like Chansey and Weezing also have a lot of bulk, and just everything on my team is really going to be able to take a good hit. I've got a lot of defog and rapid spin options, got a lot of hazard removal there, a lot of hazard stealth rock options on this team. And yeah, so I'm really excited for all of those things. I do see a few weaknesses on this team, though. One thing that jumps out to me right off the bat is I'm very weak to dark type attacks. I have 4 psychic types on the team right now, and none of them want to take a knockoff. They're all going to be weak to Sucker Punch. They're all going to be weak to Pursuit. Even Pokemon like Jirachi and Mew that can U-turn are going to be susceptible to Pursuit. So that's a big issue that I see right off the bat. My team's kind of slow. I've got Swellow up there at base 125 speed, and I've got 3 Pokemon that hit 100, base 100 speed, which is not bad, but it's not particularly great either. So that's something that we'll have to keep in mind. And we have a lot of support options, but we don't really have a lot in the way of wall breaking besides maybe Blastoise. A lot of these other Pokemon are going to be able to, they have setup moves, or they'll be able to work as pivots, but they're not going to be able to do these giant chunks of damage to Pokemon that just have tremendous bulk that you have to break through in order to win the game. So that's something that those are the main things that stand out to me. We have a couple other issues, like we don't really have a good Ghost Resist. We don't have really great electric resists on this team, and even more so than that, we don't really have a good counter to the fast electric types that exist in the metagame, like Raikou and Manectric and Jolteon and things like that. So with the Orange League, there are some rules that allow you to swap out the Pokemon on your team. Typically, the Pokemon that are in Tier 3 or below, you can drop for a free agent. So any Pokemon that was not drafted. And that works for Pokemon that are Tier 3 and below. The guys in the league were nice enough to allow me to add Tier 1 and Tier 2 Pokemon to that list. And the reason for that is, it's just is not my team. I did not draft this. So while I like it a lot, I think there are some changes that we can make that are really going to improve our chances of winning some games in this league. So I want to go ahead and do those changes with you guys now, and then after that I'll introduce the rest of the members of the team, with their nicknames and things like that. But first thing, unfortunately, we're going to have to say goodbye to this Chansey. Chansey obviously is a really great Pokemon, has a lot of special bulk, has a really great support move pool with things like Heal Bell and Wish. It's got good recovery and Soft Boiled and no Stealth Rock, things like that. But just with the way our team is made, we're going to be able to fulfill that type of role of Cleric and support and status spreader with other Pokemon on this team. And Chansey's good, but it's just a little one-dimensional in my opinion. So we're going to drop it, and we're going to drop it for Hippowdon. And the reason I want to add Hippowdon is, as I was mentioning, I'm kind of weak to fast electric types, and Hippowdon's going to be a really great check to those, because the only move that they're really going to be able to hit me with is something like Hidden Power Ice. And if you put even just a small amount of investment into your special defense, you're not going to be 2-hit KO'd. Hippowdon also has a lot of really great support moves in its move pool. It's got Stealth Rock, it has Whirlwind, which is really nice for phasing out setup sweepers. It's got Reliable Recovery and Slack Off. It's got a surprisingly good move pool. It's between, obviously it's got the Edgequake coverage, but it also has moves like Crunch and Fire Fang and things like that, so you'll be able to catch some things off guard, I think. And then, of course, when you think of Hippowdon, I guess the first thing that you think of really is its ability in Sandstream, and so that's going to combo really well with a Pokemon I'm going to introduce here in a moment. We are going to go ahead and drop this Meowstic as well, kind of with Chansey. Same thing with Chansey. We have a lot of other Pokemon that can fulfill the same role as Meowstic on our team. Granted, Meowstic does have Prankster, which makes it make it really be good for setting up screens, using Thunder Wave, things like that. But we already have Togekiss for Thunder Wave, and it can even do its job a little bit better than Meowstic because it can Paraflinch, things like that. Same with Jirachi. You got Pokemon like Rotom that are going to be using Will-O-Wisp, and same with Mew, things like that. So we are going to drop this Meowstic, and as I mentioned, we're going to get a really great Pokemon to pair with our brand new Hippowdon, and that is Stoutland. Stoutland, if you don't know, gets a really great ability in Sand Rush. If I'm not mistaken, the only other Pokemon that gets Sand Rush is Excadrill, and we all know how fearsome Excadrill is. But yeah, so this is one way that I decided I was going to address the deficiency of speed on my team. In Sand, it's going to have a speed stat. If you have an Adamant Nature, it's going to have a speed stat of 518. Yeah, that sounds right, 518. So, as you can imagine, that outspeeds the entire unboosted metagame. Only thing that it's going to have to deal with is priority moves, and if we play our cards right, we'll get rid of all of the Pokemon that have the dangerous priority before we bring Stoutland into Wreckface. It's got a really great physical move pool and a really great physical attack stat. It's going to end up hitting 350 with all this investment here, and it's got moves like Frustration, it's got Crunch, Ice Fang, Iron Head, Play Rough. It also gets Pursuit, which is really nice. It gets Superpower. It also obviously gets Return, things like that, and a Wild Charge, which might be nice for hitting, who knows, Bulky Waters, things like that. So Stoutland's going to be really fantastic. If there's a week that I don't want to use it as a Sand Rush sweeper, it also has Intimidate, which can make it a really good physical wall to combo with its base 85 HP and base 90 defense stat. So Stoutland is going to be really awesome. I'm really excited to use it. Sand is one of my favorite type of teams to use, and we're going to be able to use it in this league. And even if we don't decide to bring it, just the threat of having Sand is going to affect the team building for my opponents. So that's going to be a lot of fun. So added a little speed, added a good electric check. One thing we really haven't done yet is we haven't really added a good Dark Resist. So what I decided to do was to drop Swellow and swap it out with Mawile. Mawile is really awesome. It also has that Intimidate ability, which is going to be really clutch for taking on physical attackers to combo with this base 85 defense stat. Not really going to care about coming in on Pokemon like Bisharp. Not going to care about coming in on Pokemon like Zoroark. Not really going to care about anything that has knockoff. You know, if it has leftovers or something, sure, it'll stink to lose that, but you're going to threaten every single dark type out there with your fairy move, Play Rough. So gets also a ton of other great coverage. Gets Crunch. I guess Crunch is a little bit outclassed by Sucker Punch, which we also get. Get Brick Break. Fire Fang's really nice. You also get Ice Fang. You get Poison Fang. Is that what it's called? You get some other type of Fang move. Yeah, Poison Fang. I don't know why I didn't see it. But you get that. You get Iron Head, obviously, for Stab. You get Knockoff, which is great. You get Play Rough. Power Up Punch, I guess, if you want it. It's probably outclassed by Swords Dance for Mawile. Sucker Punch for the awesome priority. So anyway, really great move pool. A lot of those moves are going to complement its hidden ability Sheer Force really well, because they all have some kind of weird secondary effect that maybe happen like 10% of the time. So they get that nice boost. It does stink not to have the huge power ability from the Mega, but I think a lot of people are going to be really scared by the Mawile. I'm really looking forward to it. Now, the only thing I will say about my additions is that I kind of wish I had dropped Weezing instead of Swellow, because I had mentioned Swellow was the fastest thing on my team, and speed was the thing that I was lacking. Now I don't have Swellow. Weezing, I could have dropped it because it's going to be a good physical wall, but now I have a lot of Pokemon that can serve that role. However, the thing that I really wanted with Weezing was the Toxic Spikes. I'm going to be forcing a lot of pivots with this team as my opponent tries to bring in something that can damage my bulky threats. So something like Toxic Spikes is going to really punish those types of switches. Then in addition, you know, I think I added some powerful Pokemon here that are going to be able to do some big damage. But I still don't have the wall breaking Pokemon that I would like. So having something like Toxic Spikes is going to be really important for you know, wearing those Pokemon down. So the more that I wear those down, the more that I can come in and Sand Rush sweep with something like a Choice Band of Return on Stoutlands. The more I can Sucker Punch sweep with Mawile or Mew. You know, come in and Iron Head sweep or Air Slash sweep with Jirachi or Togekiss or something like that. So, really excited to see how these changes work out. I think the teams in the league are really going to have to be on the lookout for these Nevada Noiverns. We're really going to be able to take these guys on with this awesome squad. Last thing I want to do real quick is just go through and share my nicknames for these different Pokemon. Mew is going to be Mystique. If you're an X-Men fan, I should say, you're going to know that Mystique is the shape changer. And that's pretty appropriate for Mew, since Mew can learn every TM and every move tutor move in the game, so it can kind of change its form every week. I mean, it even literally gets transformed, so it can even become other Pokemon, which makes it even more like Mystique. So I think that's going to be a really good name for Mew. Togekiss, we're going to go with Wayne. This is a two-parter. This is the first of two parts. Wayne's going to have a buddy on the team, and they're going to get into all sorts of shenanigans, and I think it's going to work out for us, and it's really going to be to the detriment of the league, I think. They're going to be sad that they passed me this team. Shaman, being the hedgehog Pokemon, we're going to go with Sonic. That's a pretty easy name and pretty appropriate for this Pokemon. Rotom Heat, we're going to go with, you know, I was thinking... the thing that jumped out to me for Rotom Heat was going to be Easy Bake. But I feel like a lot of teams that are on YouTube that are in competitive battling leagues use that. Mittens is another good one, you know, because he's waving his hands in the air like he just don't care. So, not really sure. The other ones I'm pretty sure of. A Rotom I'm a little on the fence. We'll just go Easy Bake. There's no harm if we want to change it later. but I do like Easy Bake. It is, you know, even if it's been done before, I still think it's pretty funny. Uxie, we're gonna go with Professor X. You know, because he's got the, you know, X in the Uxie name, and Professor X has got that big, you know, I guess Uxie's got a big head thing going on. I guess Professor X doesn't really have a head thing, but you know, he's got a big brain in there. He's a smart guy. So 2 X-Men references on the show, or on the team rather. I'm not trying to. In full disclosure, I'm not like a diehard fan of X-Men. I'm merely a casual fan. It just so happened that I think our team deserved 2 nicknames from X-Men just because they fit pretty well. Statland, we're gonna go with Buddy. Buddy is my dog, or it was my dog growing up, and really great Shepherd Lab, and only appropriate that we name our fierce dog Pokemon after Buddy, especially because I know he's going to be putting in the finest of work in this league. So next we're going to go to Blastoise. We're going to go Leonardo after the mighty Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, guy with the blue bandana. It's only natural if that Blastoise gets named after Leonardo. So he's really going to be putting in some nice work this season. Having Mew and Togekiss as defog options for removing hazards is going to take a lot of pressure off of Blastoise to run Rapid Spin. So we can then put some additional coverage on for Blastoise, and it's going to really be difficult for my opponents to switch into this thing. I'm really looking forward to that. Jirachi, it's going to be the part 2 that I mentioned. We're going to go with Garth. Wayne and Garth from Wayne's World are obviously some goofy guys. They're getting themselves in a lot of trouble, and I think that Wayne and Garth in this league are going to cause some trouble. With the Paraflinch and those increased chances to burn and to freeze. Didn't come into this league looking for hacks, but this is the hand I was dealt, and so sometimes you just got to make the most of what you're given. If if you get lemons, you got to make lemonade. All those different stupid expressions apply here. So with that being said, Wayne and Garth, Togekiss and Jirachi are going to be awesome. For Hippowdon, this might be my favorite nickname on the team. We're going to go with Awimawe. And if you don't know exactly what this means, let me explain. So there's a really kind of silly video on YouTube. It's got that a dancing hippo, or I guess a singing hippo with a dancing dog, and they're singing "A Lion Sleeps Tonight," and it's really goofy. If you haven't seen it, just do a search for like singing hippo with dancing dog, and you'll find it. So the hippo in that video, it's got a lovely voice singing the intro to the song and everything. So Wimawe, as the repeated line of the song seemed really appropriate for this Hippowdon. So really looking forward to using Hippowdon in this league. Weezing is going to be James, obviously for the anime character who had his own Weezing. Loved that thing to pieces. James is a great character in the anime. Is like a great character in the anime. It's not like he's dead or anything. Unless maybe something happened in the new season, but as far as I knew, he was still in the anime. Anyway, not really relevant to this team, but Weezing is going to be James. And last but not least, we're going to go with Mawile, and we're going to name it Jaws. I was thinking about naming it something like Pearly Whites, or some other tooth-esque nickname, but Jaws is going to be the tooth name that we go with for our Mawile. Mawile is going to be really great on this team, I know it. So anyway, that's pretty much all that I had planned for this video. Ended up being pretty long, about 20 minutes, much longer than I had anticipated. But anyway, I want to go ahead and thank you guys for checking out this video. Please go check out the link for the Orange League. It has some, all the different matchups on there. It has links to all the different coaches and their YouTube channels, if they have one, and things like that. And be on the lookout for other content for this league on our channel later. And with all that being said, I want to thank you guys, and I will see you all next time. Bye.